walking distance, then you still need to walk. You still need to have a road or footpath to walk. Okay. For example, like in UUM, okay, your Inasis is quite far from the academic building, and they provide what? They provide bus. They also provide footpath if you want to walk. If you if you want to walk. But for those who are in Kachi or nowadays named as I think SME, the one that outside UUM main campus, the gate. So that one you need to have transport to come to the academic building here. And because of that, we have the road infrastructure, we have the bus, we have all sort of facilities to accommodate that. All right, okay. For rail transport, okay, like I said in lesson 2, there is what we call as one is the existing demand, okay. Another one is potential demand. Sorry if I'm actually repeating the same thing, okay. Just want to make sure that you understand this because all of this is actually interrelated each other, and when I talk about it, you will see that I keep repeating something that what we call that similar, right? Okay. For potential demand is the one that usually projected by who will do the projection. When they do the transport impact assessment, they will do the projection. It's a possible of, we call it uh, potential demand. Most probably the potential demand is not coming from the surrounded the terminal, but it's most probably more than 5 kilometer radius from that particular terminal. The existing demand is the 5 kilometer radius, the people who use that particular transport, the industry that always use train, for example, like cement, like oil, petrol, petroleum, uh, oil company and whatnot. Right. Okay. When you know the population, you know the demand, you can choose what type of rail service you want to actually develop, right? Either you want to actually increase or not increase, upgrading the existing terminal, existing the rail system, or you want to build a new one. And this population and demands will determine your terminal, actually. The location of your terminal and your traffic line. We'll talk about the accessibility to that particular terminal or traffic line. Let me share. I'm stop sharing this. I want to share map. This one is Kedah map. Okay. This is the station. Sorry, I cannot use all the color. So this is the terminal. This is Pendang one. This is Alostar terminal. One is KTM distribution. Another one is the KTM terminal. Alostar. All right. Okay. Sana. Oh, okay. This is the Alostar terminal. This one is the office. All right. Okay. If you look into this one, this is the ETS service is upgraded. It's not like the what we call that ECRL. ECRL they built a new line, totally new with a new terminal, new tunnel and whatnot. Okay. For KTM, uh, ETS service commuter KTM from Padang Besar to the south area, Batuwas, Ipoh and whatnot, they actually upgrading the existing terminal. Of course, they built some new terminal, but it's very few. It's not many. Okay. The yellow one, the yellow line is the road. Okay. We have highway. This one is highway. This one is federal road. This line, if you see, is go through both sides paddy field. Paddy field is a flat area. When we talk about traffic line just now, topography and geography, it's need to be usually to make easy for the what we call that, to make easy for the designing of rail transport system. The topography and the geography in surrounded area where you want to build the terminal or even the track line, because it's covered from the north to the south, you need to make sure that one is good. If it's a flat area, it's good, because if not flat area, then you need to sit down with the engineers, and the engineers will calculate all the gradient, the curve and whatnot. Okay. And when it's come to that, it's also relate to the speed of that particular train. Like I said in the lesson one, if I'm not mistaken, when we talk about HSR, something like ETS service, 160 kilometer per hour and above. ETS service is actually the maximum is 220 kilometer per hour. So far, they go to up to 160 only, because at some stretch of the track, they need to be reduced because of curve and whatnot. Be- if you want to actually make the high speed rail, the one who actually laju lah, kan, need to have flat area. If it's not flat area, then you need to have a what we call as beam, elevated, and make it uh, same level as the other part of the track, so that it can move uh, at the range of the speed you want to, because all of these related to go back to what, go back to safety of the whole system. It's not just that, okay, I want to make a train service from, let's see, uh, from here to here, go to Kelantan lah. From Kedah, pass through Taiping, pass through Perak and go to Kelantan. In other way, it's not go straight line below, but it's cross over the other side. Then you need to build a tunnel, several tunnel across the way. Why? Here is Serasa Hill. Kita panggil Banjaran Titiwangsa. That's why geography is very, very important. In logistic, you need to know a map. I don't say the local map, but basically general map. Where is the actually each country, for example, like Middle East, Sri Lanka, where they're located, and you need to know how if it's take vessel from here to here, how many days, something like that, so that you can plan. But it's okay if you do not know now, but when you work in the logistic company and you actually dealing with the import export cargo, then I think you will learn. All right, okay. That is traffic. No, that is the geography part. Right. For traffic line, okay. I I show you this one. Okay. Where is it? Okay. This is a terminal near Pendang. Betul kan? Ke salah? Betul lah, Pendang. Alright. Okay. When they built this Pendang KTM station, it is expected that this area will be developed 5 kilometer radius, 10 kilometer radius, and you won't see it now. You can see it in another 10 years. I show you the one that already developed, not slowly, but it's already there. I go to Arau station. Okay. Arau station is already there for, let's say, since the Padang Besar Batuwas train is there, right? The old one is made from the wood, kayu, station kayu sahaja, right? Okay, now they use concrete, so you can see like what you if you go to KTM Arau, you see the new one, right? Okay, they have the existing demand where people use this station to take a train ride from Arau to Alusta or to Butterworth. Usually to Butterworth. Most of them will go to Butterworth. Okay, or go to Kuala Lumpur. Right. And during those time the train is 90 kilometer per hour, it's slow, it's I don't say it's dirty, but the seat is not really comfortable and there is no aircon, it's quite hot. There is a fan, but sometimes the fan's not working. It's not like now. Okay, in other words, you can check in the internet about uh, the old the old one, the old railway service. I don't say to compare, but to appreciate the old one, because without the without the rail track, the old one, we don't get this new double tracking project. Okay, and because of this, the upgrading, all this area have been affected. Before this, the demand of just from UITM Arau, okay, from the boarding school around this area, they are coming and we have what we call a warranty card. So that warranty card is a ticket that special that given to school children, and it's have discounted rate lah. Dan kalau macam kami pelajar boarding school, we don't need to pay for that particular ticket. It's free. So naik kereta api pergi Butterworth ke, naik kereta api pergi Perak ke, kereta api pergi mana KL ke. We take that train ride. All this development, the new development has actually create a demand for the ETS service and commuter service, not only in this area, 5 kilometer radius or 10 kilometer radius, but it's also up to where? To UUM, to UITM, to UI, not UITM, to Polytechnic Pau, to Unimed Pau, to where lagi? To others area. Okay, so how they want to create that demand? By having a feeder bus. So this feeder bus actually not only, of course, the transport impact assessment that been done, they will put the projection of the traffic, and if they don't do anything in terms of accessibility of this particular area from people who didn't have transport to use this rail service, then it's no point. So there is a feeder bus. There is provide the public bus to actually to cater for all the needs, not only for Arau, but also up to PAU, up to UUM, to use this particular train station. So far, okay? Do you understand? Sekejap, macam ni. Okay. Okay. If we look into the type of rail, okay, type of rail, when we talk about why they want to build the intercity, upgrading the existing terminal, because focus of KTMB during those time is to provide service from city to city, from town to town. So they cater for intercity service. That's why we have commuter, we have ETS. All right. And then where can we put this monorail, LRT, MRT? Can it be intercity? Usually, no. Sorry to say that. And it depends on the area. How big is the area? That's why in Penang, they plan for LRT. If you look into this particular very, kita panggil padat lah, there is no space if you want to build. It seems it's no space if you want to build the track on the ground. So the LRT will be elevated. The plan will be elevated. The train will be goes up. Okay, dia dekat atas ya. So that's the thing. Dia akan lalu sampai ke where is the airport? They will go up to airport. Bayar lepas airport here. Mana dapat? Sinilah bayar lepas. Right. Okay. That is for town. Town usually not town, city. The big city with heavy with heavy population and very congested area. They can do LRT, MRT, monorail, and all this need to actually suit the area. Either it's underground, either it's elevated, but usually you won't see on the ground. Rarely, very rarely on the ground. Can you put a tram? Tram usually in the town, yes, but it's only 50 kilometer per hour. That's one. Secondly, with this thing, for those who live in Penang, you knows better. Everything is one way, most of it. Sahabat saya masuk Penang ni sebab selalu sesat. Jadi saya tak berani drive dah sampai satu tahap. Sekarang sesat kan susah. Alright. So, it's very packed. If you look into the house and whatnot, it's very packed. Ni dekat mana ni? And then the building is also close to each other. And if you make a construction, because it's 2 lane, it cannot make 3 lane in Penang. It's 2 lane. If you take 1 lane for a tram, then what happen? The congestion will become worse. And it's the tram. I don't say the tram is not suitable for any city. It may suitable. That's why the planners come in. They need to look overall. It's not just look like, okay, I want to build this one. Whatever happen, this one need to be done. No, cannot be that. You need to go and actually see the view, the map, the plan of the existing infrastructure, transport infrastructure before you plan the rail transport system, especially the new one. If it's upgrading, it's different because the track is already there. You just need to upgrade. If it's single track, you need to upgrade to double track, and if it's used diesel, you need to upgrade to the what we call that uh electric, and then yeah, something like that. That is upgrading. Okay. Oops. Like I said just now, it's we want to oh besar terminal ni. When you plan for the what we call that traffic line, the terminal, you need to make sure there is a accessibility. Oops, apa dah jadi ni? Accessibility for that particular station. Accessibility means that it can be accessed by people easily. Okay, so you can have the feeder bus, you can have the any other services. If it's freight, then you need to have a what we call that integrated terminal, so that the train, the lorry can take the container and move out from the inland terminal easily. And at the same time, need to make sure that there is a safety here, safety for the community around the terminal. We talk about the movement to here, the movement in, the movement out, and this one, the the fence, the gate, so that nobody's just simply cross the track. Accessibility. If you put the terminal in what we call that, in the area where surrounded by paddy field, for example, What you can do is that you need to make sure that the train terminal accessible for local people by using the feeder bus. Accessibility is important, very, very important. It's not only about the terminal, the the service, but it's also about the people, the passenger, the client, the customer who wants to use the service. Otherwise, if you don't make sure that there is accessibility, easy access for all those potential customer, potential passenger, then the service is either lost or just break even for the operation. Okay, I think I already covered all this, including topography, type of rail. So next one, okay, this one is related to the population and demand just now. For freight, this is the 7 demand from the customer, which is right product, right customer, right time, right place, right condition, right quantity, and right cost. For the rail transport, because the vibration, sometimes the product may damage. That's why the cargo that been transported using train, usually the low value cargo, not the high value one. Right condition means that it's safe, it's not damaged. The other one is for passenger demand. This one it seems like I just repeating the lesson one. When we talk about passenger want a seamless journey. Okay, they want safety, they want safety quality, service quality, they want cheapest cost, interesting experience, accessibility, good infrastructure and facilities, and also the reliability is high. So all this actually will help you to choose which type of train service for that particular place. Either it's LRT, MRT, monorail. You need to know all that. How many? I don't say you need to do the projection because all this actually using the if the SQS student they will learn Monte Carlo simulation if I'm not mistaken. It's good when you do the projection for the transport impact assessment. And right now everything is what we call that computer with the computer aids and whatnot. So it's much more easy. So why you actually learn all these things? You learn because as a manager, although you are science social, not technical, you need to know so that you can ask the right question and during at the right time, and you can show that you actually alert all this you know ahead. So if you want to do the seamless journey, we talk about apps, so you know what uh, you want in the apps. As a passenger, you know what you want in the apps, and you can confirm it with the survey. It's something like that. All right. Okay. So we go to Mentimeter. I want you actually to answer this. I put in chat box as a manager. Okay, as a manager, In railway company, how you want to increase the transport demand? Put your matrix number and give your suggestion. There is no right or wrong answer. I give you 2 minutes. If you are here, you are here. If you are not here, then I don't know. Right. That's good. Others? Accessibility for passenger, affordable ticket price, and higher population, fast train, and more facilities, seamless and safe journey, improve infrastructure and schedule system, upgrading the main line, comfort environment, increase line capacity, upgrade main line capacity, improve reliability, making promotion, more effective equipment, great. At least I know that you are listening to me. Yeah, with the technology nowadays, you can actually improve the line capacity by using what? By using the sensor. They put the sensor for both train so that they can, what we call that? They can have the space. We talk about the safety space between two train A at the front and train B at the back. So although it's near, but it won't crash each other. Yep, you need to start with the proper planning at the first stage level. That's why it's what we call that. When it comes to rail transport, it's come with the whole set of um, infrastructure. For the terminal, the line capacity can be increased. The what we call that, the promotion can be done, the discount can be done, and the most important for rail to increase the capacity, especially to switch people from car to train service, is the experience. If people have bad experience using the service, then he or she or see some bad experience, he or she may opt to actually use a private car. So yeah, seamless journey nowadays is very important. And fast train, all peoples want to have fast service. And maybe for those who actually want to go to look into the freight service, nowadays all the research are looking into the urban logistic. And when we talk about urban logistic, the possibility of using train in the urban area to move cargo in the urban area. Which type of train? The LRT, MRT, and monorail. So there are still research on that, and I cannot make a conclusion on that matters. Right. Thank you for all the what we call that, the opinion that you give in this Mentimeter. So we continue. You still can answer for those who haven't answered yet. You still can answer that. Uh, that Mentimeter. All right. Next slide. Okay. The next one is environmental impact assessment. This one is a very, very important and is part of the planning process. You need to have the environmental impact assessment and transport impact assessment. What is this environmental impact assessment? It's actually a process of evaluating the likely environmental impact of that proposed project. We talk about this rail transport project. Taking into account, we talk about the social, economic impact, cultural impact, and human health impact. And they want to know usually both the beneficial and the drawback of such project, rail transport project. Do do you is it just for one place? The terminal is actually in Padang Besar, so we just do the social economic impact for the Padang Besar. No, you need to do it for the whole stretch of um what we call that, line. It's tedious, no risk, because your company, if the consultant company, they will do it for a certain stretch of, for a certain part of that particular project, not all, and it's been divided to other consultant company. Like I said, it's a one of planning tools, and this is to actually, once we want to evaluate the potential impact for the environment and mitigate measures at early stage. Meaning mitigate means that we want to make sure that it won't happen. Something like that. Another one, it won't impact the environment, especially the water. We're concerned about the water, the air pollution, the safety when we talk about the planning stage, when they want to do the construction. And yeah, that is the thing. And another one, under this under this environmental impact assessment is a social impact assessment. This is where they will go detail the social changes or consequences. Either it's positive or negative, they need to put it all, intended and unintended, arising from this plan or project. Okay. One is hazard assessment. This one we talk about the possible of risk to the local community around the terminal, along the track. It's together with this risk assessment, especially if you want to build the track for passenger or for passenger freight or freight only track. Okay. Economic assessment, how this particular project will impact the economic surrounded this area. The development of property will be increased. There will be a lot of shop. There will be a lot of investment coming in for the particular industrial park. For example, cultural impact, the change of travel behavior, the change of culture, the change of we talk about the family there, all right, the demographic and whatnot. The project program, then policy evaluation, the impact to the policy, the overall project, the schedule and whatnot. Okay. And lastly, the environmental impact assessment. Yeah, this one is focusing only for environment, the water, the air pollution, the forest, the impact to the what we call that, flora and fauna, the impact to the what we call that, the uh, paddy field. If we talk about the stretch of um, track from Padang Besar to the south, to the Kuala Lumpur, the is there any possibility that when they build a rail track, then it's actually have the natural disaster is what we call that, pop up. Sebelum ni tak pernah banjir, tiba-tiba banjir. Something wrong somewhere. So need to actually try to avoid that. So all this assessment is important to look into that. Another one is transport impact assessment. Salah tulis ni. Because traffic impact assessment is different with transport impact assessment. Transport impact assessment will look into the overall transport. we talk about cyclists, we talk about pedestrian, we talk about car, we talk about lorry, we talk about the impact of the bus and whatnot. But for traffic impact assessment, this one, traffic, if it's mentioned traffic, they'll only calculate for the car, not the other modes of transport. But the meaning is this same, which is it's a technical analysis on transport problem. Sorry. Any transport nah. Usually I just put TPT. Okay. Problem and safety issue related to specific development project. And this one is very important because we want to actually improve the accessibility and safety for all modes of travel, including walking, cycling, and public transport. And we can identify measures to be taken to deal with the anticipation transport impact of that particular development. This is very, very important part. Okay, beside the environmental impact assessment, transport impact assessment is important. Why? Because from that particular transport impact assessment result, we can see the effect of the development, that particular rail transport project, to the surrounded transport facilities, the existing transport facilities. The second one is the magnitude of that additional traffic that come due to that development. Sebelum ni 10 kereta je, tiba-tiba 20 kereta, termasuk motosikal ada, basikal ada, lori pun ada sampai dekat terminal berkenaan. Okay. For example, one terminal, before this only 10 cars coming in, suddenly there will be a motorcycle, bicycle, and even lorry come to that, the small lorry, not the big lorry, come to that particular terminal. So this one actually will have something like a safety issue for that particular terminal if they didn't make it the flow in and flow out of the transport from that particular terminal go smoothly. And how this additional traffic affect the current traffic that existing one. For example, we talk about terminal Arau. Okay. Why I choose Arau? Because you are the nearest one, and if you think that what I say is wrong, then you can go to the terminal Arau and investigate yourself. Okay. For terminal Arau, before this is a small and the local the demand is more on local area. And then because of the terminal is besar, best and is efficient service, ETS service, the demand is high. So there is a feeder bus coming from the Unimap, power from the power area, from the Sinto area, to take all this passenger to the terminal. And it's actually at the traffic lah. At traffic, not only at the junction in front of the Arau terminal, but also Arau terminal. That area, the road to the Arau terminal cannot be what we call it, cannot become bigger. So how this impact, how it will affect the current traffic? It's heavy traffic in the front Arau terminal. And so that because of we know all this, due to this simulation, due to the projection and whatnot, using this transport impact assessment, we can actually plan or alleviate or minimize the impact. So this one, Once you propose the how to minimize the impact, you need to discuss with the JKR and whatnot, those engineers that the local engineers that will help to actually mitigate or reduce the impact of that particular development. Under transport impact assessment, we have what we call as trip generation, trip distribution, mode choice, and route assignment. Okay, any questions so far? Sebab saya rasa saya stop kat sini already 10:54. Any question? Okay, seems like everybody okay. So we end our class today with Surawal As and Tas. Oops. I think one of your friend raised your hand. Again, do you have any question? Before that, saya lupa. Saya ni. Okay. We end our class with Surawal As and Tasbih Kifara. Hari ini 12. Sekejap ya, saya share QR code. Jangan lari lagi. Kumpulan A. Okay, you can scan your QR code and bye-bye. Have a nice weekend.